Sibey, they get game number 1 here in the final series of the regular season in the Eastern European DPC Division 2. It seemed relatively easy to win that one versus Matreshka, but they're gonna have to repeat it if they want to play the tiebreakers tomorrow, and if they want to give us the perfect 4-way tie here at the Eastern European DPC. That's what we're all hoping for. That's what we're all waiting for. So I think there's gonna be some Sibey flags flying around for all of the Dota lovers that want to be enjoying a great, full, action-packed day of Dota tomorrow as well. But it is still out there. All of the series in the week 3 have ended with a 2-0. So it might be the sign that Sibey are going to be winning this one as well. But then again, you know, that might mean that finally it's time for a 2-1. We'll need to get into the draft. We'll need to get into the game to actually find out what the two teams have in store for us here in the potentially last game of the regular part of the season. We're definitely going to have tiebreakers, so this is not the end of Division 2. This is not the end of the 2 or 3 of the DPC here in 2023. But we are getting very, very close. Well, let's go into the draft together to see what the teams have in store for us going into the final, potentially final game of the day and of the season. So there it is. We'll get ourselves in it. The bans, pretty common here. No big surprises there. I need to be changing my stance a bit. Sometimes I lean forwards a little bit like this, but we need to be changing positions. And this is the 4th series I'm casting today. Had a tournament before this one, but it doesn't matter. We can go all night long when the Dota is something that we are watching. Because what does it feel like? Just like casting Dota with friends. Easy. Freaking Z. As the Pango does get banned out on Matreshka as well. So both of the, I'd say, most popular mid laners. Let me just check that. But from where I'm standing, those two have been played the most. Sibey will pick up a techies. Let's see. Storm, Void Spirit was picked up more than the Pango. Actually, Pango only 13th, 7th and 6th picked only 13 times. He is 13th and he has been picked 13 times. He has gotten banned out or picked 90 times, so his pick ban rate is probably the highest here. 94 for the Beastmaster. Okay, there's a higher one, but Pango, if he's not being picked, he's banned, and it seems like the teams are putting him there on the ban train a little bit more than some of the other heroes. There is gonna be a Timbersaw coming out. I always like when I see this hero. He just feels super powerful at the moment in the meta. Just very good versus these universal heroes that are kind of the backbone of every draft. Sibey will pick up a Morphling. That is a great counter for universal heroes. So now you're gonna be able to turn into the Timbersaw and give him the taste of his own medicine with the stolen Whirling Death. I like it. The reason I'm not the biggest fan of the Timbersaw Rubik lane is because they're both experience hungry. So that's where I think Melis might struggle a little bit. Though it could be an Eddie Narwhal. Timber in the mid lane. We still don't know. I like the opening from Sibey. It makes sense considering they're the first pick. Matreshka will be able to equalize the draft going forward. You should always have some kind of an advantage in a draft if you do have a first pick. But it is just necessary. Sibey, they ban out the Slark. Matreshka getting rid of the Ember. So he's not gonna be a
10 seconds
part of the
remaining.
party.
5
Lark was
seconds
taken
remaining.
away. Sibey, what else do you want to get rid of? They will wait out a little bit before they come to a decision. But PL, we saw it in the previous series that it can be a big problem for the Morphling. So I don't see why not. The Underlord is not that popular any longer. People are just skipping it. So is not the staple of drafts, meaning that you do not really have the just a straight up PL counter that's awesome in the meta. They are they're taking their time with this ban. Really taking their time. Kind of feel like sloths here, making us all sleepy, but we're not gonna allow the
team ban. Dire team ban.
fatigue to get to us here. The Queen of Pain does get banned out in Matreshka, getting rid of the Primal Beast. As Sibe, what do you get rid of? They're thinking about that ban.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see what it's gonna be.
5 seconds remaining.
It is. I still think the PL is a.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Clockwork!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
The undying waits.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Dark Seer.
Dire team ban.
Stare your death in the face.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Taken away. And if you are
10
if you are
seconds
a
remaining.
intelligence hero, 20% of spell amp, which means that
5
you are going to be doing
seconds
a lot
remaining.
less damage during the Pierce the Veil phase. So Actually, the Morphling is quite good versus the Muerta now when I think about it. Even the Aghanim Scepter is amazing. Of course, the Timber Saw might be a little bit more appealing for all of those stats to be stolen. Actually, imagine how much the Adaptive Strike will be doing if you do connect with the Steel onto Muerta. Once you do have the Aghanims, of course. Matreshka, they're not going to be getting a Tinker. Sebe, they're going to make sure of it. Their catch for the Tinker isn't great, but you have some Surge, Waveform, Blast Off. It's not impossible to get on top of him. Plus, when did Matreshka even play this? I have to check. Like, why the hell are you banning out the Tinker? No, in the last week, Matreshka didn't play it. Versus Navi, nope. Versus Moneymakers, nope. Versus Team Sexy, nope again. And versus Storm, which is their first series, another big fat nope. So not sure why the Tinker ban. I guess it might be something that they play in scrims. That maybe Netty Narwhal does play the Tinker. How many Tinkers have we seen at all? Big fat 0. Not a single Tinker came out in the entirety of the Eastern European Division 2. We did see some new heroes like the Necro pop off here and there, but nothing too big. There wasn't an Invoker today. I think 2 new mid lane heroes in the same day after the meta has been so stale would be too much to ask of these teams entertainment wise. They will ban out the puck on Sebe. They performed well with it in the previous game. It is uncertain if Nadinar will be able to do it. He's a hell of a puck player though. So what's left? The Void Spirit is left. If Sebe want to go that route. Ember is out, unfortunately, which would be perfect for them. Matreshka gets rid of the Wind Ranger. Anything else? I feel like the Void Spirit might be the best ban for you to go for, because there's just not that many heroes left that are currently being played in the mid lane, and that you are confident to pick as a when you don't see the matchup. I don't see any. Really. Tinies are being played. You could go for a Magnus on Sebe if you want to. I actually wouldn't mind it. It doesn't get countered that easily.
5 seconds remaining.
So I would be okay with that. Anything else? The Earth Spirit mid. Quite nice, but you could eat like a SF to the face or something along those lines, and you probably don't want to do it. Yeah, the Voice Spirit gets banned out, and they go for the Tiny. Not a fan of this hero currently, especially when there's a Clockwork on the other side as one of the supports. The other one is the Rubik. If he steals the Attribute Shift, he's going to be also impossible to bring down. Muerta is a good hero for you to press down, and you do benefit from the Surge and from the Iron Shell quite a lot. But whenever I see a Tiny Core without anybody to give him vision for the jump, I'm always very skeptical. It is a hero that should win the lane against almost anything. Versus the Timber Saw, though, it's going to be a little bit tougher. So Enigma gets picked up. You have nothing to stop the Black Hole. I'd say just from the draft that there is a good chance that we're going into a game 3. I think Matreshka have everything they need to win. The only downside of their lineup is, or well, the upside of Sibe's lineup is they have this potential to just run at you, and with you relying on the Black Hole and staying around the Enigma, the mobility of Sibe could come in handy. So here's the thing. If Matreshka slow down the game, farm, Narwhal gets a kill here and there, you use the Dark Clockwork for vision, you just slow it down that way, you get to the point where the Muerto does a lot of damage, you can win. But if Sibe are able to create chaos on the map, right, which they could do after a successful laning phase, and they should have a decent one, at least in the mid lane and in the off lane, then the game changes slightly, right? Because Erase could be going around the map, living up to his name and killing everybody. Even the Enigma is not going to be off limits. The Timber Saw is going to be a little bit tougher, but everybody else is a target, a viable target for the Tiny, because he will have an Iron Shell, he will have a Surge, and he will be able to hunt you. So Sibe, they definitely want to be just everywhere on the map, just like in the previous game. So with that short analysis being done, we are going to be taking a short break just to hear from our sponsors over at EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
The game does start. Matreshka versus Sibe, game number 2. Currently, as you can see on the screens, it is 1-0 in favor of Sibe, and EGB, it has switched its odds a little bit there in favor of Sibe. Of course, it's still slightly in favor of Matreshka, but it's negligible at 1.82 to 1.89. Let's see how this ends up. The entirety of the week 3, they were all 2-0s, so we might be in for a fun game here. I guess we're all hoping for a 2-1. But then again, there's if it's a 2-0, we're gonna have a ton of tiebreakers tomorrow, so we probably just don't wanna jinx it and just see those tiebreakers. The 4-way tie is always fun. That means that 6 games they're going to be played. It's just amazing and very interesting. And imagine if we have another round of that. It's just gonna be a lot of Dota in general. As the core breaks the smoke, blood grenade connects. They might be able to kill him. He needs the decay to turn around the Malefice, keeping him in place, and he doesn't get the decay off. Without the added strength, without the added HP, he will be an easy target. Usually not an easy hero to kill, but that was just a beautiful dead shot from Retsu. He just pushes him towards the clockwork. Immediately they're gonna be going in the tips, playing some mind games here on the side of Matreshka. Understandable, you need it. You need a little bit of a morale boost after what happened in the previous game. Natty Narwhal, he is versus a strength hero, so this Tiny, we'll see just how well he can do. The lane, nice usage there of the tree toss just to secure himself a CS, and now he wants the range creep, pushing aggressively, and won't be able to get it. The Timber Saw does get the deny. Unfortunately for the Tiny. Usually this hero has really good animation and he does have a lot of damage, but sometimes versus the Timber Saw you will suffer because he does reduce your damage with the rolling death. Bottom lane, I'm expecting a solid lane from Klasno Kruto. The clockwork can be annoying, but Techies is one of the best supports, so if they're just together there, if they're constantly just poking onto Dark, he won't be able to do that much. And adding Narwhal, I'm guessing he got tossed into the tower because I couldn't see there, but the toss was killed up and he's super low. That's the only valid explanation to him being so low. And at least he's gonna be getting the bottle out now. But it's not a good start for immediately take that much damage. Same can go for Klasno Kruto. He's still level 1. Velor will be tanking up the battery assaults, and in the end, it isn't enough for the Darkseer to live. He's gonna continue skipping the rope, having fun, but it might just be a farce that he's putting up there because the lane isn't going the best. Yeah, they are slowing down the Muerta quite nicely though. Erase, he does have a toss. He needs to wait for the creeps to die. But Nanny Narwhal, he finds the water rune, so he'll be back up to full. Really no issues for him. Meanwhile, top lane, Tombstone gets dropped. The zombies are going for Melis, but ultimately they won't be able to do enough damage for the Enigma to be in any kind of trouble, kind of life danger there. Still, it is the Morphling that's free farming at the moment, and the Enigma only has 4 CS. With so many creeps coming in, Nesphere can actually go for quite a lot of denies, and now the Rubik is taking away some CS from the Enigma as the range creeps are not going to be allowed to molest the farm. Velor inside of the cogs tries to escape, but a blood grenade will make sure that is not going to be successful from his side. Class Kruto, he does have the creeps in a good position and will be farming quite nicely, but ideally you do want that level 3. You want to be the one applying pressure. For now it seems impossible for Class Kruto, as Dark is coming forward, doesn't have that much mana to work with, has the Healing Lotus if he feels like using it. Looking at the CS, the offlaner is slightly suffering, but overall everybody's having a decent time. The Tiny is starting to fall behind a little bit there in farm. The Timbersaw is actually a really hard hero to play against now in the mid lane because he's a universal hero, so he used to have some troubles with the right clicks. You need to use your spells a little bit too much. Now he's a universal hero. He actually has a ton of damage to work with, and with 2 points in reactive armor, even the tower won't be able to deter him from bullying a race. It is just the life of a hero laning versus the Timbersaw in the mid lane. So Race is gonna have to learn to live with it. That's your life, Race. Considering you're a Tiny, you do want be doing well in the laning phase. An early blink is something that you dream of. Well, a dream without a plan. It is just a wish that is probably never gonna be coming through. As Velor, he does get taken out by Matreshka. Retsu goes over there to assist as well. Klasno Kruto, still level 3, but he's all showing off some cool skills there on the jump rope. I love jumping rope as well. It is a very fun activity, very tough. You can get a good workout in with it. A sphere, make sure that he gets all of those juicy eidolons into his pocket. Class Kruto, he can't go through the calling, he waits for it to expire, runs away, doesn't have the boots. Dark being blocked in by Retsu. If that hadn't happened, they probably would have been able to get on top of him, but they get on top of him either way. Muerta has boots. Dark's here, he was walking all the time barefooted there, and as soon as he lost the surge, it was a problem. Things are really looking up for Matreshka. They're winning the safe lane, they're winning the mid lane, they're off lane. It is coming out okay-ish. If you combine the net worths of the Enigma and the Rubik, they're actually on par with the Morphling Undying. So you won 2 lanes, you went even on 1, this 2.5 victory. And in Narwhal, tossed back. He's hoping the race for the top room. He will be getting a haste, which means that he can easily outrun the 2 heroes of Matreshka. 2 of the supports of Matreshka commit for that one. That will be leaving Retsu alone as the core comes over, running into the calling. He will get surged up, but I don't think you're getting the skill, especially with the Rubik TPing in as the core. He's looking very much dead. Now he's thinking about escaping, but you should have thought about that one a lot earlier, my friend. Class Kruto wants to deny the Tombstone, won't be successful at doing so, meaning that Retsu gets another 125 gold into his pocket. And Sebe, after 6.5 minutes of trying, still a little bit short from getting their first kill on the board, whilst, well, they have gotten murdered 5 times. The Tiny and the Morphling at least haven't died just yet, and both of them are farming decently well. Nice Sphere, 1 point in the essence shift, sorry, in the attribute shift. Retsu? Okay, this time around he should really die. Will he though? Running away, vacuum, keeping him in place. The sticky bomb will connect. He's dead. It's over for Retsu. He turns around to get one last shot at Velor, just to look at his assailant's face. So finally, they do get that one, but it will be the Wisdom Rune being stolen. So Matreshka, they get both of those on their supports. Very nicely done by Dark. It will cost him his carry's life, but if you look at the supports here, before the techies get the proximity mines, it's a big deal. Avalanche toss, Nadinarwal doesn't die. Now Erase, he has nowhere to go. He'll run into the tower. Nadinarwal will not allow the tower to get the kill with the Chakram. He will be the one to secure it. That's going to be another influx of gold for him, and even more Taken away from the tiny natty narwhal, going towards the top part there. He's hoping for the rune, and let's see how lucky he will actually be. It was in the top lane earlier, and it's gonna be on the top lane again. It's a regen rune. You don't get luckier than that. Tiny, when he returns, he is gonna be mad as hell. Kruto farming a little bit. The Morphling caught. He does get the attribute shift off, so he'll be okay. Dark uses the cogs to escape. There will be a tombstone placed, and they want to bury Dark. Will be able to do so. His little suit of armor won't be protecting him, as Retsu might be playing with his life as well. Natty Narwhal comes forward. Tiny already used both of his spells. Needs to be careful, because that rolling that it hurts. But with the Ruby coming over to the bottom lane, Retsu and Laguna will be able to finish off as the core. As now, Class Kruto going for Retsu. He'll be pulling him back there with the vacuum, but just so many repositioning spells. Retsu, Sticky Bomb does not connect Valor. He cannot go forward any longer. Doesn't have the mana, doesn't have the HP, doesn't have a life. Laguna finishes off Valor as a race. He's being dope. He still survives. Natty Narwhal, he has to run away because he's a little bit too low, and the Timbersaw doesn't want to die at this part of the game. The Undying, though, isn't really a hero that kills you. And guess what? He finds 2 bounty runes, so he'll be able to heal himself up, almost backed up to full with 4 bottle charges. The gold lead continues to increase. The win probability continues to increase in favor of Matreshka. Class Kruto is level 5, and he's dealing with a level 6 Rubik, trying to run away. His Ion Shell was stolen, and the Rubik is going to be showing just how strong he can be. Valor, he offers himself as well. That's just going to be an easy grab for Matreshka. Laguna will follow him until he gets the kill. He just rubs salt on the wound there. He doesn't even want to attack him. I'm gonna kill you with your teammates, your lane partner's spell. The gold lead is high, but the experience, it's even worse. Erase, going for the arcane rune, he wants it. He will be getting the avalanche onto the Timbersaw with Morphin coming in. They want to get the kill. He will be turning into the Timbersaw himself, but Nesphere cannot go forward. He's actually the one that is in trouble at the moment. He needs to run away from those cogs. Lifted up, he lost all of his mana. He does have a little bit of agility to work with, turning into strength, and the Morphling will be surviving. They do bring down Dark, but it is not the hero that they came for. In the end, he didn't turn into the Timbersaw. The Battery Assault was constantly preventing that spell from coming through, and well, if he just got one Whirling Death out, probably would have been enough for the kill, but unfortunately for Sibe, that just did not happen.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Enigma going for the
Dire are scared.
Helm of the Dominator, probably gonna be a full Helm of the Overlord. How fast he'll be able to get it on that hookshot. Dark, a little bit off the mark. Probably not that good at fishing, this guy. As Tiny, he's in a smoke. His smoke will break. Retsu, he gets himself out. He sees him clearly. Avalanche, toss, a couple of hits. It's enough damage. Race gets it. Laguna comes over, tosses the tree as well. I can do the same thing like Mercenary Tao from Dragon Ball. Tossing trees is something that these guys are very good at. Race still has that arcane rune, so it's not advisable following him because, well, he can be a nasty opponent with the spam of his 2 spells.
Radiant's middle tower
The
is
Stackies
under
really
attack.
need some experience. He's trying to be there for his team, but being
Dire's
greedy
top
right now
tower
and
is under
going
attack.
onto a lane, it just sounds like a better deal to me. You need this hero to do
Dire's
damage,
top
and
tower
being
has
level 4,
fallen.
it just doesn't happen. Remember the previous game? He was level 5, 8 minutes into the game. Tiny caught, Avalanche gets tossed out. It will be stolen by Rubik immediately. He uses the illusion, tries to dodge Natty Narwhal, and he'll be tossing him away there onto the Rubik. Here, have your Timbersaw. I don't want him. Valor comes over to take the place of his Tiny as the one that gets taken down.
Dire's
Poor
bottom
guy, he
tower is
just
under
can't catch a
attack.
break, but I still don't understand why is he coming into fights. It's just impossible for him to do anything as a level 4 techies. You need the proximity mines at least. And all 3 of the cores from Matreshka are topping the network chart. This is what is so scary, Kasibe. If you could put the foot on the gas now, this would be a good timing for your lineup. But you're just so far behind, you don't even have the Blink Dagger on the Tiny, and it's 13 minutes in. He only went for the power treads. He didn't even buy any echo sabers or something. And you get the blink. The enemies are going to be very tanky. If you do not kill them at that point, when are you actually going to be strong on Sibe?
Dire's middle tower has
I
fallen.
guess you still have a Darks here, so Vacuum into an Avalanche is always going to be a big team fight spell. But this Enigma will have a BKB at some point, and then you're screwed.
Boom, there it goes.
Muerta has the Maelstrom and is going for Dragonlance. He'll have it in no time. That's a very farmed Retsu. Last game he was struggling. This game is showing
bottom
up.
tower is under attack.
It is showing up real strong. Lasno Kruto staying close to the Wisdom Rune area there, farming the Ancients at the graveyard.
Radiant
But they cannot stop the push from Matreshka. The last tier 1 will be dropping there. And the helm of the Dominator of Enigma really coming in handy. They will be using a scan. They want the Wisdom Rune. Klasno Kruto, he wants it there. But you better run. You better run if you want to live. The Malefice will connect. Klasno Kruto gets himself out. At least the Undying will be stealing the enemy Wisdom Rune. So finally, Sibe will get their hands onto one of the Wisdom Runes. Nice TP out. Dark just won't be able to guess right there. $11-4. Sibe, they're not coming back into this by farming. They're gonna be needing some kills. Nesphere with the Manta will probably try to join with the team. It just feels very, very tough at the moment. Blink Dagger on your ace is done, so that's something to look forward to. You do have level 6 on the techies. It's a little bit late, but you still have the potential to burst people down. Enigma is still a viable target, but look at the positioning of Melis. They just won't be able to find him. Of course, they don't see that light leash that we do in Harry Narwhal. Gets caught, the Avalanche is there. They will be stunning him, keeping him in place, and Nesphere goes in with the waveform to finish him off. Now they found the Rubik, he's going to be turning into him, which means that the poor Rubik is dead. He did steal the Flash Golem there, meaning that they can't get more, and that's 2 kills. Might be the 3rd one as they find the Clockwork as well. Dark is going to do his best to escape as Klasno Kruto running into the cogs. That's definitely not going to help you to get the vacuum off in time. Melis, under vision. They see him clearly, and Valor coming over. He will be missing with the Sticky Mine, immediately turning around with the Black Hole. He's going to turn and try to finish off the techies. Will be successful in doing so. Still, the Enigma will be taken down, so that's a small price to pay to finish off the Enigma. Once this Blink Dagger came out in the Tiny, everything just instantly changed.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Matreshka now, they are aware of it, so they are not going to be surprised any longer. The element of surprise is gone, but the damage has been done. Blink Dagger already kind of paid off. It still doesn't bother Red so much. He is still the one that's farming as much as he wants, stacking the Ancients for himself at incredible speeds. He'll be able to take this down. Gunslinger with the Maelstrom, just a little bit too much damage. And Mjolnir right around the corner the second he gets that Hyperstone. That's gonna be even more farming speed for the Muerta. I'm really a big fan of the animations of Muerta. I really like how they went with the little things, the double shots, how he can shoot left and right depending on which who he's shooting down. I just love it. The first tower of the game that will be going in favor of Sibe is actually denied by the Timbersaw, so no gold for Sibe and a little bit of an influx from Matreshka. It's quite nice. The Echo Saber for the Tiny, that's something that he's gunning for. We'll need a little bit more time before he does have it. The Clockwork, he was very high in terms of levels, not so much any longer. Has the hook shot. They want to try to block it. He'll go for the cogs, but it doesn't matter. Inside of those, there's just going to be so many proximity mines that make sure that his life gets taken away with ease. Gonna be the 4th hero that dies in a row after the Blink Dagger was purchased. Klasno Kruto uses the Surge to run away from Laguna, who did steal the Iron Shell, puts it on the Timbersaw, who's a great carrier for the spell. Things are looking up for Sibe. Definitely better at this moment than it was just a couple of minutes ago. 3k gold, it's still there, but the bleeding has stopped, and the win probability is starting to shift to the other side. Matreshka are still favored to win here, but it's not that big of a difference. Not as big of a lead as the 3k gold is at 10 minutes in. There's gonna be a scan. Race shows himself, bottles the DD rune, which is quite nice. As Sibe, they do smoke up. But where actually are they going? Race leading the charge, going into the enemy statue area. There to find. They kind of know where their enemies are. Black hole not up for 25 seconds. There is a hook shot. There's the veil ready as well. They will be going into the pit. Sibe, they're coming in for Matreshka, who don't expect this. Klasno Kruto, the vacuum wall. It is gonna be there. Where's the jump in? Where's the avalanche? Not gonna be using it. Klasno Kruto will be taken down, and as the core dies as well. They do have buybacks. The mines are gonna start exploding. They would be getting themselves another kill. Nadina roll pretty low. Velar misses on that blast off as Retsu is gonna be standing his ground and fighting, but he will be fine with the avalanche toss. Nadina roll, he goes in. No, he shouldn't have done that because Nesri, he does pack a punch. He did morph quite a lot into strength there, so he doesn't punch that hard any longer, but the waveform is still quite a lot of damage, and he finishes off the Timber Saw as well, with Rubik being the only survivor. Sibe, nothing of value was really lost because two of your main cores are still alive. They have the DD on the Tiny and are going to be going to finish off the Roshan. And Matreshka, they're going to try to be here in time. The Rosh is low, but is it low enough? Race, he doesn't have the DD any longer. Matreshka are coming over. They have the black hole. No blink on Meles, but just running in is still a possibility. Sending in the Warpine Raider. Here's the toss in from Dark. Klasno Kruto in a lot of trouble. Avalanche toss onto the two of them. And the black hole in just a catastrophe. The Avalanche gonna be coming through. Dark dropping low. He's gonna be looking very dead. Laguna, he's trying to finish off the Rosh, but way too weak. He dies. Doesn't pick up the Aegis. Radiant secures the Roshan, but it is gonna be Nesphere that snatches the Aegis. So the Rubik, he did manage to kill the big boy, but he didn't manage to get his shield, to get the double life away from Sibe, with the black hole just being very, very badly placed there by Meles. Matreshka seemed to have started to panic.
You have my respect.
Это нереальная дота, просто
Oh, Retsu, gonna say, have my respect. Velor, he does respect the Enigma as well, because his black hole, the usage, it really did benefit Sibe quite a lot. As Morphling is gonna have the Aghanim Scepter in no time. He only needs 1200 gold there for the point booster, and that's the only thing he needs. He already has the other three components. Timbersaw going for an Aghanim himself. With that reactive armor shield, it is gonna be quite nice. Though the burst damage from Sibe is so high that you might not be able to use it, but we'll see, we'll see. I'm really liking how well Natty Narwhal is the Natty Narwhal, how well the Tiny is playing a race in this one. He's just everywhere. Look at it. Wherever you look on the map, he's coming into the fight, and really with the way that he suffered in the laning phase, he has done an incredible job keeping himself in this one. Laguna, he's always staying with the shell. He just cannot steal the attribute shift from the Morphling. He'd love it though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structure.
It's not that hard of a spell to steal though. Retsu, maxing out the calling. He is thinking that his team needs some help there, keeping people in check. Makes sense. Usually people do max out the stats after the first and third spell have been maxed out on the ulti, of course. But Retsu, he is thinking about another thing. So Enigma went for the Helm of the Overlord. Blink BKB is gonna be next on the menu. That is when things become scary for Sibe. But this is Sibe's timing. This is where they're strong. This is where they're gonna go forward. And this is where they smoke, searching for more kills. They're gonna be making their way towards the mid lane as Erase finds another DD rune. That means more than 500 damage per hit. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that. That's 1500 damage with just the double attack from the Echo Saber and the tree toss. Mines exploding. Nesphere turns into Natty Narwhal, goes onto the high ground, and he will be stunned up. But still, he has the Aegis. The Rubik has already fallen. Even if you kill the Morphling here, you still need to do it once again. They don't have the Black Hole for 19, but they're going to be able to finish off Nesphere. Nice man to dodge. He doesn't get the waveform off. Have enough to finish him off. The dead shot does connect. He'll get feared, but he'll be fine. He does have too much HP for Matreshka to try to take him out. And jump in from Natty Narwhal. I'm not sure you want to be doing this. He does have the Timber Chain up to the high ground with the Rubik buyback. He probably don't want to be fighting any longer. Valor protecting himself with the reactive taser. Blast off at the ready, but he'll never get a chance to use it. The only thing that he's going to be leaving behind is the recipe and how to create the sticky bomb that the Rubik does steal. So, we'll know what to do with that one. There's gonna be one buyback on Matreshka and one hero dying on Sibe. We can count in the Aegis as well. If that, then it's a big victory for Matreshka. Morphling really went a little bit too deep there with the dives and didn't really have much to back it up. Now the Black Hole is ready. Enigma going for a BKB first. It's not gonna be the Blink Dagger. Makes sense considering that Sibe really have nothing to break the BKB Black Hole, and they're not gonna have it in this game. You can maybe get like an Abyssal Blade, but how are you ever gonna really use it on him? Velor, the reactive taser now. It is gonna be usable on teammates too. That's kind of annoying for the Muerta to deal with. (16-16). Gold lead non-existent. Win probability in favor of Sibe actually. So Dota Plus is favoring this lineup of theirs. I don't know. I feel like Matreshka with the clockwork, with the vision he provides, and BKB Blink Black Hole that will be available later on, might have a better shot. But here's the thing, that Matreshka have good vision, they have good initiation, but they have shitty burst damage. Whereas if Sibe start to fight, their burst damage is amazing. Tiny Morphling techies, a hero just instantly dies. So that is something to keep in mind. Top lane Tormentor, it is gonna be a shard for Dark, so Jetpack will be available. Poor Rubik doesn't get to have the shard to use the telekinesis on his teammates to save them. Morphling has the Ags. He has the Ags shard as well. So is there any like type of silence hex? Nope, nothing. He's always whatever stuns him gonna be able to morph. The Aghanim Scepter of the Timber is done. That is big. So if you need a hero, even once the Enigma gets the BKB Blink Black Hole, you need to have the guy that goes in and creates chaos, cooks something up. We'll see if the Aghanim Scepter will be allowing him to do that. Of course, the Nullifiers is a great counter to take that away, because it is purgeable, which is kind of annoying.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Top tier 2 looks very dead. Sibe didn't want to fight that. Matreshka probably won't be wanting to fight for the bottom tier 2 either. That's being mowed down by Nesphere as we speak. And yep, it is going to be the power dead. Matreshka going for the high ground. Jumping from the race. He has found Muerta, who needs to find a way to get out of this one. Pierce the Veil is available. The race going to be lifted up, pulled a little bit back. The calling going to be creating that little bit of a wall. Still don't have a blink on the Enigma, so it's very hard to find an opening to get the Black Hole out. As Nesphere, he is turned into the Timbersaw, thinking about chasing forward, and he'll do just that. Onto the high ground. They have found the Rubik. They see him clearly. They know exactly where he is, and he will be going down. He tried his best to survive as long as possible, steals the blast off, but will never get a chance to use it and see how it works. He'll be dying before that happens. Nice defense from Sibe. Lincoln Spheres is something that Matreshka would want, but they're not building any. So this Morphling will be able to steal any form that he thinks of. Muerta forced left to the side. He's still going to be caught. There is a BKB from Erase. He's going to be keeping him in place. And he goes for Pierce the Veil. Going to be trying to heal himself up there with the right click. It's not going to be enough. He's doing his best to do the damage. Actually finishes off the Undying. But he himself will be finished off. Actually, he's destroying Erase. Valor jumps in just in time. Finishes off Muerta in Dark. He did his best with the hook shot to try to keep his buddy alive. To try to get Muerta out of there. But Sebe in the end, they do get the 2 kills. That Muerta really does pack a punch. Pierce the Veil lasts a little bit too long for Sebe to do much versus it. And if he wasn't a coward and just attacked the Tiny immediately, maybe he would have been able to kill him. But in the end, he will just be taken down. It's 8 seconds of Sebe not being able to finish you off. Once he gets a shard, let's say, he will be able to lifesteal amazingly well. Sphere working towards a BKB. That's going to be a huge deal. With the BKB active, even inside of a black hole, I don't think you die. And speaking of the black hole, there is a BKB now to protect the Enigma. And, well, the Blink Dagger is the only thing that he needs now. That's another 2,000 gold. At this point of the match, shouldn't be too rough for him to farm it up.
Radiant are
Pasto
scanning.
Cruto. Going for the creeps in the woods. The gold is continuing to increase. I heard a hook shot. Oh, but it wasn't used. I don't know what I heard, why I heard it. Dying hiding in the trees. He needs to continue hiding. He's not in a good position. Running around the Lotus
Radiant's
pool.
middle tower is under
Melis.
attack.
Luckily for Asdakor, he's not going to be checking. Will be placing a ward and a sentry. That's going to be some nice vision that Matreshka are not going to be aware of. So let's say you're farming your statue area. You can very easily die. Okay, he has been made. His position has been found. The Undying needs to run away. So now they're probably going to know about the ward. And they get themselves into the Roche pit. What is this damage? Poor Roche. He just cannot survive through the magical damage of Retsu. Usually you're like, okay, I'm Roche, I have a ton of armor. Well, doesn't really matter much versus the Muerta, because she right-clicks magical damage, and it's going to be the Aegis and cheese into the pockets of Matreshka. We also find the Undying, steal the decay, and as the core with the Soul Rip, he'll try to keep himself alive for as long as possible, but an extra half a second or so isn't really going to make much of a difference.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sebe. They are 1k gold behind. The race is hiding in the trees. He does have that Shadow Blade. We'll see if he does go for the full Silver Edge. Most likely will. The break on the Timber Saw is quite nice though. If he already has some stacks up, you really won't be able to prevent him from, or take away that armor. That's how it works. So you break any new reactive armor charges that are going to be coming through, but the ones that are already active, not that big of a deal. So the break of 4 seconds, I think it's 4 seconds for the Silver Edge, right? 4 seconds, yep. There's so many items in Dota. Even for me, who is watching this game, playing this game every hour, every day, all the time, I just cannot pick up all the numbers. I used to know everything, all of the percentages, but there was just not that many things in Dota. No neutral items, there was like no Kaya, no Glimmer Capes at all. I remember the good old times. Just kidding. Now are the good new times. It's just a little bit hard to know every single number of every single spell. But I'll get better, guys. Don't worry about it. Morphling, level 20. Nesphere, he does have the waveform. Attacks targets. So that is a big deal. Last time it was Sebe with the Aegis. They did only manage to claim 1 tier 2, and I don't think it was even during the duration of it. What Matreshka are going to be trying to do with this Aegis is take down all of the outer towers. And they will be successful. No more of those left. There is a BKB on Muerta. There is a BKB on the Enigma. A Blink is not done just yet. And I'm liking Melis, who's going for an A on this. He just wants to make sure that the black hole does come out. If you don't have that A on disc, you can be stunned up, brought down. With the A on disc, you can spam the BKB and you'll always be able to get a black hole off. Class Kruto gets found. He doesn't have backup currently on Dark, but it's going to be very tough for Darkseer to escape this one, as they're going to be kept in place for a very long time. The Stolen Surge on the Rubik. Class Kruto going to the side. He will blink away. That's some beautiful movement coming out from him, but the Malefice will still keep him in place. He does drop down the wall, knowing that he's dead for a very long time, and he'll probably have the wall once the time comes. Nice. A wave cut though coming out from the Tiny, making sure that Matreshka can't really go for a push. The next wave is dead, and this one, if they come over with it, it's gonna be a glyph tower that should deal with it. Very nice space creation there coming out from the Tiny and the Darkseer to delay the Aegis even further. We're at 50% win probability for both teams. A 1k goalie 33 minutes in. Sibe showing that maybe they didn't deserve to be eliminated with the way that they're playing right now, but the first 2 weeks, that is something that we cannot forget. Retsu doesn't get too close to the base. He understands the dangers of the toss back. Does he really? Look at those mines placed perfectly. You drop the enemy in the middle, and it's gonna be fireworks coming out. Usually people do like fireworks, but I think that oh, he gets the black hole off. He's surviving. Still, they're just walking to the black hole. He gets himself out. Still, nobody's died inside of that one, but that's gonna be a lot of things that the Morphling has to deal with. He pops the BKB. He has the reactive armor. They're stolen from the Timber Saw with an Aghanim Scepter. Nobody's dead. I do feel like this Undying should be going down, and they're hunting for him, but he's gonna be hiding in the trees. Not using TP just yet because he doesn't have it for the next 10 seconds. So as the core, he's gonna have to accept his destiny, which is gonna be death. Retsu finishes him off with a dead shot from the side. If the Enigma had died there, would have been a completely different fight, but what if? What if? Still, you can't really go high ground that much. Yeah, look at those sad smileys coming out from production. They're all hoping for a 4-way tie. Toss back into the mines. You have the Aegis, so he will be surviving for a little bit longer. The reactive armor gets used by Nadinarwol going on to race. He will be surged away. Retsu standing his ground inside of the calling. He still has Pierce the Veil. No BKB though. Inside of the wall, he just forces himself out. A bit too deep for Nadinarwol. He's going to be tossed up into the air, but protected and covered by Retsu. The tier 3 still standing. The Morphling? Who's that? He turned into the Alright, because the tech is having the shard now. Let's see now. Morphling getting gone on, uses the Manta, turns around on Nadinarwol. The race, Tiny went a little bit too deep. And S-Sphere going for the Timbersaw form, but he just gets destroyed by Retsu. And that inability to kill the Enigma earlier, it might just cost them the entirety of the game, because 2 of their heroes recall a little bit too much out on the map, and they're gonna be dealt with easily. The Stolen Avalanche from Laguna going in, lifting up the techies into the air. Velor is just looking at his heroes are dropping left and right. The triple kill for Retsu, and the tower will follow suit fairly soon. We all know how fast the Muerta pushes, especially when you have the level 20 talent. Those gunslinger shots, look at what's happening. The Raxes, both of them are being destroyed. It is looking very much certain that we're going into game 3. Sibe, they're going to be losing 1 lane of Rax, and the next one could follow. They don't have the buybacks. They do have a glyph still, so that's going to be 7 seconds spot if you want there. Retsu not shooting only the tower, but also the buildings around him. The tech is doing his best. They went for the hero with an Aegis. Maybe shouldn't have done that. It would have expired either way. Just a couple of seconds later, it's going to be another 3-3 down. And the Rax is just exposed. Very easy for Matreshka to get these down as well. Jumping in, vacuum wall, huge! But you don't have the damage. Where's the follow-up? Tiny will be coming in. He's seeing so many low targets. He wants Retsu, but he doesn't see him. He is blind. He doesn't see an invisible target. It's not invisibility. It's an invincibility for Retsu. Muerta cannot go down. It was a beautiful attempt, but you needed to wait a few more seconds for your Tiny. Imagine the avalanche in that scenario. Everybody would just get demolished. But they did save their Raxes. Sibe, they're only 1 Rax behind. Of course, the current situation, it is not ideal. The win probability, almost 90% for Matreshka. It is looking very grim for Sibe. But they did give it their all to protect their base. They are going to be successful somewhat. As the core, get away from there. Get away from there now. They can't do it with just the two of them. Tormentors 37 minutes in, a little bit too powerful. They got buffed, I think in the D patch, or was it the C patch? But either way, it's just hard to bring them down. They're tough opponents. You need a lot of heroes as the game goes on.
Dire's courier has
More
been
fling. Sphere. He will be avalanched. Lift it up. Uses the BKB. And look at Retsu. That damage is just not fair. Do you think that the BKB is protecting you from the magical damage? Not enough. Not enough, my friend. Pierce the Veil, just way too much damage added for the Muerta. And that's gonna be a Morphling Muerto. Matreshka are coming in for possibly the final push here. The vacuum wall is ready, but then again, so is the BKB black hole. Mad in Narwhal without being afraid at all. Okay, Melis jumps in. He does have an AM. This avalanche toss will be connecting there onto the vacuum wall. The BKB black hole only onto one target, but it doesn't matter because Muerte is just killing everybody. Like, what the hell is this? Once this hero gets going, there's just too much damage output coming through from Retsu. It isn't even close. And Tiny, just look at how fast he will die. Just needs vision there. He got disarmed. They know which is the most important thing there. The reactive taser, probably the best spell that you have currently versus Muerta, but it's not gonna be enough. It is definitely certain now at this point with the Raxus dropping down and Mega Creeps being available. Sibe, this time around, they're the ones that lift up the white flag, and Matreshka will get the victory in game number 2, forcing out the decider, a first full best of 3 that we're gonna have in the last week of the Eastern European DPC. That's pretty interesting there. We still don't know if it will be a 4-way tie. We're still here hoping that Matreshka do lose so that we see it. But yeah, they did show that they definitely have something to fight with in this game, though. You never know if the Enigma would have died there when he was one hit from going down before getting that black hole off and running away just in front of the enemy base. We could have seen a completely different game, but we didn't. We just saw one where Matreshka won. In this timeline, they will be forcing out a decider of the series, and this is a good way to end the regular part of the DPC Tour 3. So guys, bear with us for another game, as well as we're gonna go on to a break for another 8 to 10 minutes, and once we're back, we're gonna see the third and final game of the matchup between Sibe and Matreshka.